welcome to Dream Stories. I'm here in the studio with my sweet daughter-in-law, Michelle, and you can say hey to everybody if you want to. So we're glad you're with us, and you're about to go on a journey because I'm here without my husband who normally leads the way. It could be a train wreck.
It very well could be.
So, anyway, so here's what I was thinking. You know, you and I have been talking about doing like a show for years. So this could be our kickoff show. And then I think my biggest concern. Okay, so Michelle and I have had this idea that we were going to do some kind of a show one day where, we're both kind of silly, kind of outgoing, and we just have this idea of us doing
a comedy show,
a comedy show, or you never knew what you were going to talk, what topic would come up, or we thought a flip show where we were flipping houses and stuff. So hey, we could kick it off. We're in control. I've hit the record button. You want to start tonight with our? I'm kidding. You look terrified.
I do.
I think I was scared to do this. Michael asked me to do this. And I was like, do you really want Michelle and I to do a podcast without you being here? Because he's kind of like, I hate to say he's like my anchor, It's like, I don't say I hate to say it, but it's like, I've never done this by myself.
We have free range.
We do have
free range chicken. Or free range chicks.
We have free reign and free range chickens. Okay. So I think I was afraid to do it because sometimes when Michael and I are doing our podcast, the content that we use sometimes is very much, it just bubbles up. So if something bubbles up within you and you want to talk about it and I look lost, you have my permission to talk about it.
It might be completely off subject.
It might be. It could be. It's interesting though. She and I were talking before I hit the go button, and I was like, "Is there anything that has changed your life in dreams or anything?" And she was sitting there just wondering. I kind of just threw her under the bus, but I was thinking about how when you and Joshua, Michelle is married to my oldest son, Joshua, and she and Joshua have given us two beautiful grandchildren, Sarah and Ellie, which Sarah has been a guest on our show.
Yeah. We need to have Ellie. She'll just be slurping coffee.
She does like coffee. She calls it
boppy.
Boppy. I need some boppy. So Michael is calling me, and I'm going to answer the phone.
Let's have him on. This is called voice.
Yes.
Have him on the phone through the voice thing.
Yeah, so...
speaker, that's what I mean.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
You're live.
I'm doing good. How are you?
You're live on our
I'm
podcast.
good. We just came back in from fishing.
You don't even hear me.
You did. No, he can't hear you. Michelle said you're live. We're doing a podcast right now.
You're live on our podcast. This is the Elisa and Michelle show now.
Elisa, Michelle, are you doing a Dream Stories podcast, or y'all doing a Michelle podcast?
Well,
We don't know.
we don't know, but we haven't finished yet. Yeah,
Okay, so this is all on the air, huh?
it is. Would you like to stay with us? Or you? This could be fun. See, I like this. This just happened at the right time. So I'm just going to keep you near and dear to the phone, and if you want to pipe in there at any time, you can. Michelle and I, we just got started, and I was just telling Michelle, hey, do you have 30 minutes, Michael?
We're cooking dinner. I can stay on for a little while.
How about 26 minutes? Because we're in 4 minutes so far. So
Well, I can stay for a little while. I'll stay while I can.
okay, good. So
Because I'm in Minnesota and you're at home.
That's right. Okay. So anyway, I was just telling Michelle, I was asking her, had she ever had a dream that was life-changing for her? And then I was telling everyone how Michelle and Joshua have provided us two beautiful children and grandchildren, that is. And I was thinking about, Michael, do you remember the first date that Michelle and Joshua went on? And I had a dream. What did I dream?
You dreamed they were getting married, but I don't.
I married
that
your.
was interpretation. I don't remember.
I married your son.
I had a dream. It wasn't just I think it was a vision because I dreamed they got married. Now, I didn't say anything.
This was the first day she met me, right?
It wasn't the first day I met you. It was your first
date. Yeah.
It was your very first date.
I made that grave an impression.
Yeah, that night I dreamed that y'all were getting married. Now, that's something you really shouldn't share with anybody, is it, Michael?
No, that's the kind of thing that you want
She never
to
told me.
pray about instead of talking about. Because you could misinterpret a dream like that, and if you do, it could be a big deal. It could really cause more conflict than it helps with. If you got it right, you can pray about it, write it down, date it. If you really are worried about people believing you, put it in an envelope and mail it yourself.
Oh, that's true.
So you got a date attached to it. But I wouldn't tell people about it until you see it come to pass.
Exactly. I mean, because you could have caused more stress. If I had said to Joshua or if I had said to Michelle, I had a dream y'all got married last night. Yeah, that could stress them out. Right.
I don't know. I mean, maybe not. I might have been like, well, I saw your son before I even met him, and I said I wanted to marry a man like that. So,
you could have been excited about it.
I could have been like, yeah.
But Joshua would have been terrified, I think.
Probably. Oh, yeah.
But,
It's always safer to pray about it instead of talking about it in a situation like that.
I was thinking.
You can talk about it and everything go perfectly, but if it doesn't, you'll regret it, and that's why it's always safer to pray than talk in that kind of
I totally agree.
situation.
I totally agree. Because I've had some other dreams about our children, and I have not shared that with them yet, and I won't until it's the right time. But, I was just thinking how Joshua came to us late one night after Josh and Michelle had been dating. I don't know. How long did y'all date before he asked you?
He told me about 6 months.
Into it?
Yeah.
Okay. So he told us that he was going to buy you a ring. He came to us, he goes, I think I want to buy a ring for Michelle. And that's when I told him, I was like, okay, now is the time. It is okay. He has made that decision. And I knew that was a release time for me that I could tell him.
Well, and that way the dream doesn't influence him. It confirms something he's already hearing and he's already comfortable with.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
he
it
didn't tell
became
me.
confirmation.
Yeah. Y'all didn't tell me until after he asked me, we got engaged.
Right.
Then y'all told me. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
That's because he really decided to ask you, but you still had the potential, the option of saying no.
Yeah.
So telling you at that time would have been in the same vein as if we told you both at the very beginning.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I know I've had other people, like one time when you and I were dating, Michael, that was many moons ago, this guy came to me and told me that he was supposed to be the one that married me, and I remember thinking, how do you know that? And he said, God told me that, and he had a dream and all this stuff. I was going to be his wife. And
I confidently told him that.
That's true. You did tell him that. That's true. I think
Nope,
you had
she's
already
mine.
asked me, and I was engaged. I was engaged to you at that point. But that is something. It's very sensitive. And I remember our mentor. Well, you may. My phone may die, Frenchie, and it may not last. But we'll try. It is okay. But I remember our mentor teaching us we really shouldn't release something like birth of babies. If you dream it, you shouldn't tell people necessarily. It may not be because then if they don't have a baby, you dream they have a baby and they don't have it.
And so many times birthing a baby is a metaphor, not about actually being pregnant, and it can be misunderstood so easily.
You know what? Michelle had a dream about a baby. Why don't we just go into that dream? Michelle, one of the dreams Michelle had, she had shared with me earlier.
Tell a Josh story about how I met him.
If we run out of the dream stuff, we'll do that. But you had a dream.
Yeah.
What you want to tell me the dream?
Listen, hey, before you do that, I'm going to let you all go. It's good that I got the chance to be on with everybody.
Okay.
I'm sorry I couldn't be there. I've been fishing for salmon and walleye and northern pike and all sorts of things up here in southern Wisconsin. And we're cooking the salmon we caught right now.
Oh, that sounds good.
So
Okay.
Y'all
All
better
right.
bring us back some fish.
Yeah, he's bringing us back fish.
Good.
So, yeah,
y'all
okay.
have a great, so I'm going to freeze some of the fish and bring back.
Okay. Sounds
So
good.
you'll
Thank
get
you.
it. So y'all have a great podcast. I'm glad I got to be on for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Everybody, I will see you all next week on the podcast, I hope, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Thank you. I thought you were going to say keep dreaming or
Well,
something.
hey, I could say for me, even though the show's not over, keep dreaming.
All right, bye.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, that was very appropriate.
That was funny. I saw him calling you. I was like, oh my gosh, please answer that.
Yep, it worked out perfectly. Okay, so tell me your dream.
Tell me your dream. Okay, do you want me to tell the date or does that? No. Okay, it was in 2020.
What a
August.
year! We will never forget that year.
Yeah,
will we?
that's what I
No
was
one
like,
will ever
yeah.
forget 2020.
It was in August of 2020. All right, my daughter Sarah wasn't listening to me and ran across the road, and I was scared she was going to get hit by a car. So I ran after her, and I grabbed her with my back turned if any cars was coming, or as if any cars was coming, but no cars was coming. But then all of a sudden, there was this tiny black baby in my hands. I remember thinking, how is this little baby alive? And where did it come from? I walked back to the sidewalk, and handed the baby to my sister and left and came back and said, where's the baby? And she said, I don't know, I lost it. And I was mad. How could you lose it? But was okay at the same time, thinking maybe it was a doll. This place happened at my elementary school, Vance, and I looked up the meaning Vance, and it means bewilder or bog or one who lives near the marshland.
Okay,
That's
so
the end of the dream.
Okay. I think it's kind of a two-part dream. The first part, Sarah's in it, and but the whole setting was sort of a childhood place for you, right? Yeah. So it was like at your old elementary school and everything, and Emily is your younger sister.
Yeah. Well, I didn't tell that. I just said sister, but it was my younger sister.
Your younger sister.
Yeah.
They would have asked you if they listened to this podcast.
Yeah, that's
was
true.
that about
it was
me?
my little sister that none of y'all know.
Yeah. So in the dream, I like to repeat the dream back because it helps me with interpretation. So you dreamed that you were calling out to Sarah because she was about to cross the road.
Yeah.
You were concerned that cars might be coming. You went into the road to kind of protect her. You said you kind of grabbed her and reached back behind you and kind of protected her that way or something like that?
I think it was like I grabbed her and like kind of like a shield.
And
turned,
like
Yeah, like if somebody was going to hit, they would hit me, but she would be protected.
Okay.
It's kind of like at the rush hour, not the rush hour, but when school was being let out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know, when all the cars, buses all line up.
Right. And then you cross back to the crosswalk, and when you look, or to the sidewalk, and you look down, and you had a little black African American baby in your hands, and it was so tiny, and you were like,
I mean, it was like in my hands. It was like I grabbed Sarah like this, and then I was like she was with me, but not like she was just gone, and I just saw this little black baby, and it was like just kind of laying there, I believe, if I remember correctly, and I kind of like scooped the baby up and was like, how's this baby? Alive in here. Yeah. And then I walked back to the sidewalk.
Okay, and then you walked back to the sidewalk, and your sister was there, and you handed the baby to your sister, and then somehow in the dream, maybe some time passed, and you went back to your sister and said, where's the baby?
Yeah, I can't remember. I don't know if I wrote it down. Or,
right.
Yeah, I just,
But
I don't remember
whatever reason, you turned back and you said, where's the baby? And your sister said, I don't know, I lost it. Yeah. And you were kind of frustrated, a little bit mad.
Yeah, I was mad, and then, but at the same time, I was.
You tried to reason it away?
Let's see, I think I put, I was kind of okay at the same time. You know,
because you just said, well, maybe it was a baby doll.
I was like, maybe it was like a
But when you first saw it, it
looked real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had shared the dream with me a little bit earlier. And I think I know for sure the Lord has put like a mothering instinct inside of you to be very protective of things. And I think there's something like a calling that you have with that. And but the dreams to me speaks to. At first, I thought it was about Sarah and her not being not responding quickly to your discipline. That could be true too.
That could be the first part.
She's pretty strong-willed. Oh yeah, she's definitely strong-willed. But I think it really means more about your nurturing, and then with you, the fact that the baby was black really to me doesn't, because I love all people, and it doesn't matter what color the baby is. It was just a tiny baby, an infant baby. And you were thinking, how could it have survived? So to me, the dream speaks of there's something that God has called you to do, something that you'll be very passionate about, and something that you're very tender-hearted about. But you may not have recognized in your life that sometimes you may try to pass off what you have been called to do to other people who you may think might be better at it, or might could handle it. And so you may have not realized the giftings that God has put within you to care for some things, maybe something he's going to birth inside of you that you didn't even know you were capable of having. And rather than passing it off to someone else, because they won't take care of it the same way you do. So I think it's a future thing, something of just being prepared and praying into whatever God gives to you, no matter whether you think it has a lot of life in it or not, for you to take care of it. Because other people, even though you love them and you think they could take care of it, it won't be as important to them as it is to you, because you were like, where is it? You know. So anyway,
Lose it.
how can you lose a baby? You know what was happening as I was listening to your dream? I was sitting here and thinking about how you feel about pro-life and how you feel about babies that don't have parents, you know, and that was just bubbling up within me. So there may be something that God, you're tearing up.
I
know. So sometimes that kind of tells you, Michael and I always say that when you kind of know you kind of have hit the dream or the nail on the head when people really tear up, because it touches something within them. So I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with that one day you'll be doing something with helping mothers or helping people find their way in something that people may not value, but you bring value to it. So.
Oh,
I
tried to tear up.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Back to the funny stuff.
Back to the funny stuff. Okay.
No, it was good. Yeah, I thought that actually when you were saying it, or when you were, reciting the dream back to me.
What were you thinking?
Well, I was just thinking, I was like, I wonder, does it have something to do with like the pro-life? Because I remembered the date, and that was, well, of course, I was very emotional because I just had my daughter, and you're feeding her and all your emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
And you think, how could anybody just trash away their baby?
Yeah. So. And there may be a lot of people who are listening who may have had an abortion or something in their past, and they may not feel the same way that you or I would to it. And really, I don't mean this bad, but that really doesn't matter, because you're the one who had the dream. And so it matters about what is personal to you and what is your Creator God calling you to do. And when you said the baby was tiny, that was the other thing. And it's not just about maybe babies that have been aborted, but it may be about babies that have not yet been born, or who may be about to be born into different circumstances where it's not going to be good for them. Or it doesn't matter. You can be compassionate about just a tiny baby. But I was also thinking that it's something that's being birthed in you, something small, something that doesn't look like it has a lot of life right now, something that other people might question, well, that doesn't seem like it's going to work well. You had shared here's an example. You had shared recently with me an idea about a type of ministry you would like to do. And so some other people may look at that and go, well, there's not a life in that. And so you may go, well, really, I don't want to do it. Maybe I'll get someone else to do it, and it's just my idea. And I don't know that would be the right thing, because it's something that you're passionate about.
Well, I actually had that thought too the other day. I was thinking in the vet, when I was telling Joshua, I was like, well, maybe, because I'm not the best, speaker and stuff.
Right.
So I was like, maybe somebody else can do it.
I'm reminded of a Bible story. It was Aaron and Moses, and Moses asked God to choose someone else to speak because he wasn't eloquent of speech. Yeah. So we can't work. When we're trying to do something that God is leading us to do,
I'm gonna say y'all.
You know what? That's okay, because sometimes people, that's what people love. They love realness, and so. But anyway, he said, couldn't you let Aaron, who is much better at something than I am? But sometimes when you take something God has birthed within you, and you try to pass it off to someone else, hoping that they would care for it and love it as much as you. They don't. They might start out with it. They might accept it, but they won't carry it through to the end the same way that you would, you know?
Yeah.
And there might always, I've always said, you know, I've sang on worship teams before. My husband has preached. I mean, I know a lot of people who have done a lot of different things in their life, just with careers and other things. And I've seen people who have, I was thinking about this the other day. I was listening to this person sing, and I was thinking they have a beautiful voice. It's not necessarily a voice that you would see on American Idol or somewhere like that, but it was a voice that was pulling on me in a way that was beautiful, because I don't know, just the way they were delivering the song just pulled on my heart. And I thought, you know what? It's really not always about how great are you at something. It's that there's something imprinted on you that allows you to carry it through like no one else could, because you're like a thumbprint. You know, everybody's got their own fingerprint. It's very unique. It's kind of like the wood grain in this table. It's a beautiful table. It has this specific wood grain. There is no other wood grain like this. It's only from that particular tree. And so the same thing is true for you. There's no one like you. There's no one like that person who was singing the other day that was delivering it in a way. And I say, it's not always about, are you the best person at doing this? Are you the one who's most qualified, most talented, has gotten the most education on this issue? Or is that what it is? I don't think so. I think it has to do with, are you the one who is willing to do it? Are you the willing one to carry something through? So
I agree.
Check. Okay. Well, you know, I don't know did you have any other dreams that you wanted to share, or was that the main one?
I mean, I guess that was the main one.
Okay. Well, here's how I feel. I mean, we're 20.
And I have, how long is
We're
the
22
podcast?
minutes. Well, we're 22.
even
We're
know.
22.
That's probably pretty bad.
It's okay. We're 22 minutes in. Michelle and I are never lacking in conversation or talking about something. But I told Michael the other day, I said, you know, when we're doing the podcast, I know we try to keep it under 30 minutes, but to around 25 to 30 minutes. We usually go a little bit longer than that sometimes. But I told him the other day, I said, you know, once we get to a place where it's like, okay, we've gotten to this point, maybe we just stop here. So because we don't have to try to make something happen, right?
Yeah.
So, and it, you know, just for you and I to be able to sit down for 23, 24 minutes without children screaming.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say without coming up with something crazy or chasing,
that's
chasing
true.
a rabbit trail.
Oh, absolutely. We can go down a rabbit trail for sure. But, you know, without babies, you know, it's really hard. I mean, here we are. It's late at night. We're trying to get this done.
10 o'clock at night.
It is. And when people listen to this, it'll be early in the morning, probably tomorrow morning or something.
True.
But you know, just trying to find that time. So we're not going to push it. We're at 23 minutes. Michael French called in and helped us with our little, you know, I thought we were going to have this total podcast without my little husband, and he called. It was the perfect timing. We did not have it scheduled for him to call either. So, but anyway, well, we're glad you joined us today. We know it may have been a little bit different, a little bit quieter because Michael's not here today, and maybe not as enthusiastic because he always comes up with such good stuff. But we're glad you joined us, and you can check us out on YouTube and some other places that my son's going to list on the thing, because I can't remember everywhere because I don't keep track of all that stuff. So
YouTube, Facebook.
Yes.
So there's Twitter.
I don't know if we're on
Twitter,
that. I know
Instagram?
that if maybe Instagram, but if you go to Facebook, I know we're on mydreamstories.com.
They're just on the internet.
So if you want to, you can share, like, and subscribe. I know that line.
Yeah.
Share, like, subscribe. But we're glad you're with us, and as we always say, keep dreaming.